Hello everyone, and welcome back to another expert game. This game we're going to cast is a game between Tim and Vinchester, and I think I'm going to try something a little extra special this game, and I'm going to go to Tim's point of view, and we're going to keep it on Fog of War this entire game. So trying something completely different. We can see how Tim decides, how Tim plays this game based off of what he sees. He is a 2K, almost 5 rated level Chinese player. He's the most popular Chinese streamer in China, I believe, if that makes sense. And he's been around for a long time. I think he's been around since like around later 2000s. Had a great rivalry with the Viper in the Masters of Arabia. That was a long time ago. But had a great rivalry with the Viper, and it's the reason why he has the emotes on his channel are called grass. There's a funny story behind that, which you can check out if you go to the Viper's channel. But he's been around for a long time, very talented Chinese player. His opponent, Vinchester, is also a very talented player. He's Russian. Been to the finals of a lot of tournaments, and has some of the best micro in the game. He's also got some interesting strategies on Arena. Started the tower rush, and he plays very aggressively on Arabia. I'm pretty sure he picked Huns. Huns is one of his favorite civilizations, just in general. So, yeah, should be an interesting matchup. Both these players very, very good. Let's take a look at Tim's map. Now, Tim has decided to find his, he's found his deer on the front, decided to lure them in. He's playing as the Koreans, which we all know have one of the best tower rushes in the game. We'll see if he decides to go for that. The Huns is a pretty gnarly early game civilization, though, so might be a little bit risky for him. Bonuses for the Koreans: villagers +3 line of sight, towers build faster, tower upgrades are upgraded automatically and are free. And later on, they have the War Wagon, which is a pretty good anti-archer unit, pretty beefy unit, and their tech tree is lacking in the cavalry department, though, which is something to keep in mind. Civilization he's going up against, the Huns, one of the best cavalry civilizations in the game. Nice economy bonus for the Huns as well, to boost them throughout the game, and great cavalry archers for the Huns. So, very strong army from the Huns, and great raiding potential from them. So overall, the Huns are considered a better Arabia civilization. Let's see how Tim decides to play this, though. So what has Tim scouted on his map? He's chosen the back lumber line. That's the only sensible lumber line to choose. He's found most of his sheep. He's missing 2 sheep. But he decides that's not important enough not to lure those deer. So he's going to get in, what, 3 extra deer. That's an extra 400 food for him. And now that all of his deer are lured, he's going to go scout the rest of his map. He's found his other boar as well. A nice quick scout by Tim. He's got a back old, which is decent. Maybe he's going to want to try to wall it somewhere through here. He also does have this hill, which could get a little nasty if his opponent does decide to take this. As far as where he can wall, I'm guessing this is not closed. Might be able to wall in through here and place military buildings on the front through here. So one of the harder things for Tim to be able to defend this game might be his golds. Here comes Vinchester, though, getting his scout off on his opponent's base. Tim is looking for his opponent currently, or maybe he's looking for those 2 sheep still, I would guess. It's nice to have all your sheep, but Tim has lured those deer, so I'm not too concerned about that. Stone is on the opposite side of this lumber camp and next to a cliff, which is a little unfortunate for Tim. Where is his other stone? If he's thinking about tower rush, he definitely wants to be able to find that other stone. I would guess it's right here, but I'm not completely sure. And Tim is already not going to go for an all-out tower rush. He, of course, hasn't found his other stone, and this one's basically inaccessible. So he's going to go with a barracks right now. It looks like he's going to go with man-at-arms rush. Might have been his plan A, might have been his plan B. But the tower rush just isn't going to work. At least not right now. Vinchester hasn't gotten loom yet. Here's his berries, one of his stones. Always check if your opponent gets loom. It's a kind of indicator as to how their economy is doing, and you always want to know if you can pick off a stray villager. And I might stand corrected. I'm guessing these villagers are going to go forward for the tower rush. Now that he's seen the map. Now, what has Tim seen to have decided to go for the strategy on his opponent's map? Hasn't seen that much, of course. He's seen a stone which is exposed, and he's seen the forward berries. So a single tower here can take away a wood line, a stone, and a berries. He knows there's no wood here on the left. The other wood must be on this right side. It's actually quite safe. That's not really a concern. There's also a hill here. And he's going to go forward with 5 villagers and a few militia. 1 villager on stone only, though. And here's a few surprise militia from Vinchester. Has not scouted the barracks until now. And this might be a little bit of a problem for Tim, though. Now, I doubt Vinchester's going to go over here. Wouldn't suspect Tim to take the stone. And doesn't suspect he's being tower rushed right now, I bet. Tim's going to try to build some militia just to defend enough. As you can see, all of his resources are going to be used up. And Tim only has enough stone for 2 towers. He needs to get more villagers over to the stone. I know the stone miners do work a little bit faster, but you're going to need at least 3 or 4 stone miners. And I would definitely be sending them over now. Here's that first tower, though, completely undetected from Vinchester. Vinchester's not expecting this at all. He has not seen the stones being mined. And great, this could be great for Tim if he's able to garrison his town center. He's actually not going to do so. That could have been 2 militias down. Somehow Tim affords the men-at-arms upgrade. I have no clue how. I think he's cut off production of villagers. And there's that first tower. Great first tower from Tim. Completely undetected by Vinchester. This tower would have never gone up if Vinchester saw these villagers forward. Or maybe they would have because the Koreans build faster. A great first tower. Second tower, he's choosing not to go to the left and take away the stone. He knows his opponent's not over there. And this tower exerts enough presence that Vinchester would not pick that place to put a tower. He's going to go here and take away 3 farms. Excellent. Excellent tower location. There we go. Tim sending now a total of 5 villagers to stone. Able to defend from those men-at-arms. Villager difference is significant, though. 2 villager difference because Tim is having trouble with all the food that he's not collecting. No farms up for him. Tim is going to move over to the left side, just secure the stone, I believe. Or maybe he's going to try to work his way around. Actually, blacksmith. Interesting. The blacksmith would help to take away this 1 farm over here. This village is on 3 HP. Oh, she's going to die anyway. I don't know why the early blacksmith, huh? Might have just had those resources. Vinchester with a very late advance. Oh, shoot. I'm going to keep it on Tim's point of view. I forgot. And yeah, another tower right here would be great as well. Taking away yet another farm. And there we go. So Vinchester's going to be hurting for food pretty soon as well. Villager number now 28 to 28, dead even. Who knows whatever happened to those militias at Tim's own base. Nice kill off though. Killing, no, he's gonna get the villager. He's gonna get 1 villager for 1 men-at-arms. So Vinchester securing this 1 stone. Tim did not scout the stone earlier on, so I think that would have definitely been a target for Tim's tower rush and made his tower rush even more effective if he was just even able to wall up that stone. But now Vinchester does have access to the stone. We'll be able to build defensive towers and stop the tower creep. Fletching coming in for this tower. Might be able to hit this farm as well. So there's a lot of wasted resources from Vinchester. And Vinchester's going to threaten here. He's going to force this tower up. This is sloppy though. Sloppy, sloppy. Villager's going to run around. Vinchester actually didn't see. So now it's gold to get this villager out. To batter down the palisade to get this villager out. That was Vinchester. I tried to go up with this tower faster, try to kill that 1 vill over there. Nice farm snipe by Tim, though. That's another 60 wood wasted. Great scout off. Can see exactly how many farms Tim has, where his main gold is. You can see that this right side is relatively difficult to wall and should be exposed. Tim's just going to engage this tower to have his villagers do something. Vinchester will have to garrison the rest of his villagers in this tower as well. And I definitely think he should be doing that. He definitely doesn't want another tower coming up. And I don't understand why Vinchester isn't garrisoning this tower. Archery range up for Vinchester. I would have definitely snuck that more in the back. You don't want to show your opponent you're making archers because they'll start making defensive towers just as Tim is doing. 2 towers coming up for him. And now Vinchester garrisoning it, but half his HP on his tower is down. He might have to make another tower. Actually garrisoning with archers so he doesn't have to idle his villagers. So that makes sense. And these towers are just barely out of range such that this repairer can repair without getting shot at in the face by arrows. Archery range coming up from Tim as well. This is directly in defense, I think, of the archery range of Vinchester. Sure, Tim could just make towers for days and towers for days, but it would be nice if Tim could actually clean up the army of Vinchester and maybe go on the aggressive himself. I don't think he's going to start tower creeping over here. Would have to send more villagers forward, and that'd be a huge investment. Much easier to go up with the archery range. And this is nice by Vinchester, idling 5 villagers while he's only got archers in these towers. What Tim should do, I think, is just either place a lumber camp here or a mining camp onto the stone, and have these villagers continue to do something. Never bad to take more stone as the Koreans. Nice play, actually being able to get the barracks. That's going to prompt the tower from Vinchester because he knows these villagers can make another tower over here. Take a drink every time I say tower. Hey, what's up, Publius? You see Barbarossa, you click. Barbarossa's coming up after this game. A little bit of stonewall here from Tim. That stonewall really worth the investment. So Tim definitely ahead in this game. He's got great positioning. The towers will get upgraded later on in the game. Keeping Vinchester up against the edge of the map. He does have a stone, a gold that's back there, but Vinchester will have to push out and eventually take out these towers, which will be very difficult in the Castle Age. Who says tower rushes have to be an all-in strategy? It certainly bodes well for the Castle Age when you have this positioning. And in fact, Tim knows that. He's going to add 1 more tower to this exact same area just to strengthen it up a little bit more. Tim will be up to the Castle Age pretty soon. Get that guard tower upgrade. He's made a few skirmishers just to defend from a few archers. Try to guesstimate where Vinchester is at. He's definitely going to be slower up to the next age. Just has to do with the farm position. Or, no, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. These are just the guesses you make without having to check from both players' point of views. Vinchester's actually up to the next age in a relatively good time. I suppose he didn't have to invest a lot into a lot of things. Tim up in a pretty similar time as well. Of course, Tim does have like 600 stone in the bank, so that could have been village time that was more dedicated to food and getting a better uptime. Interesting, Tim's actually decided to go for the mill instead of the stone patch. And even sending 2 more villagers forward. Tim is going to drop at the castle. He's going to have 650 stone. This tower is here to help protect the villagers once they drop the castle. And the castle will go up on the main town center of Vinchester, taking it away. And completely locking down this area. Even a Mangano wouldn't be able to get through here. Or a ram. The skirmisher is still patrolling this hill. Trying to look for those archers that we know Vinchester has around. And let's see this castle come up. Only thing Vinchester could do, he could try to drop another tower of his own to prevent the castle from going up, but I don't think that'll work once these are upgraded to guard tower and get the extra +1 range for the Koreans. There are those archers. They were trying to make a run past the town center, and great pickup by Tim. Gonna trap all those archers in, and Vinchester's gonna lose most of his army. So just as 5 skirmishers coming into play 10 minutes after they're created, but great pickup now. Bodkin arrow coming in immediately, and there comes the town center. Sorry, the castle. Now, I don't know how much stone Vinchester has. He might have barely enough for a castle. Looking over here, we see +1 Bloodlines Knights from Vinchester. These knights won't be able to do anything, though. I don't know why Vinchester's rolling in here. Especially with these towers up. Castle's already up. Might be a lost knight for Vinchester as well. Now they're going to get out of there relatively unscathed. And that's one more castle down, one more town center down. As soon as this town center's down, bad rally point. Very bad rally point. As soon as this town center's down, Tim is free to add yet another tower to this area, which could be able to take out these other 2 watchtowers. Now with these upgrades in. Alright, Vinchester's going to move out with his knights. And see what kind of damage he can do here. Not too much. If I was Tim... Yeah, I might want to just palisade wall a little bit here. That's not going to hurt anything. And back at home, maybe think about getting another town center up. No town centers can go up over here. This is very hilly as well. This is not a great booming map for Tim going into the next stage of the game. So he's going to go with a few war wagons. It'll be war wagons against knights. Not the greatest thing. I feel like Vinchester could make a little bit of a comeback here. Just due to the civilization and Tim's map. I would guess right now Vinchester has at least 2 town centers in the back. He's booming right now, going into knights, which will be a strong play. Gonna take out this guard tower. What is Tim looking for? And man, if I was Tim, I might just place a town center right here under the cover of these castles. There's really nowhere here that a town center could go up. Maybe on this goal, but that wouldn't be the best one either. A few monks coming out for Tim in defense. Very odd position. I'm gonna go with the monastery, so gonna try to threaten down these. Trying to go in through the front, and a few cavalry archers for Vinchester. This is where that Huns power comes into play. So I feel like this game's gonna tighten up. We have a 700-point lead for Tim right now, but I just don't know how Tim will do more damage, or will boom his eco. And this is why I'd like to see that town center right here. These knights are gonna come in. They might be out of range of this castle and get a few villager kills. All these villagers on full HP. Castle is firing down. Here comes the war wagons. Got 1 villager down already. 2 villagers down. And that looks like 3 villagers down. So now villager count completely even. War wagons, great upgrades though. +2, +2. Another castle should be ready for Tim. He can place the castle right here if he wants to. And elite skirmisher coming in from Vinchester to counter the war wagons. Now the war wagons will do great against the cavalry archers, but less so against the skirmisher and knight composition. Tim with 400 food, 400 gold. Actually was able to place the town center here. That's an excellent position. Will be great for wood, great for farms. Not great for gold though. Let's look at well, Tim does have this gold in the back. That's quite lucky of him. It might be okay on gold for now. This other castle pretty not gonna do a hell of a lot. Might take out 2 towers though. And at this point, you're kind of thinking about, okay, I've got 2 castles next to my opponent. Trebuchets would be really nice. Maybe thinking about going for an early-ish Imperial Age. There's quite a bit of food and gold in the bank. What happened to the villagers? Oh, the villagers are here, of course. Going crazy. 3 relics already for Tim. 1 relic for Vinchester. Guys looking for another relic, exploring the map. And we do know Vinchester might be a little, well, if Vinchester could take this gold, it might not be hurting for gold that much, really. So castle went up, but as you can see, not really doing too much. What Tim could do is try to get through the front here, though, with wagons. Another tower here would be great. Oh, there we go. So this tower is going to take away some of the wood and all of the gold. That is a hard number of war wagons to deal with. Very strong army. Vinchester will need a lot of skirmishes to deal with this. Villager number still dead even. And military count dead even. Now, bear in mind, Tim has absolutely no idea how much military Vinchester has at this point. Or if he's got extra town centers here. But this is why that monk is really so important. Able to see exactly what Vinchester has. Knows that there's a town center here because he can see a farm here. And not a hell of a lot more for Vinchester. So Tim has to know he's in a pretty good position. I would try to push in through here. And keep the tower creep going. That's a bunch more farms. Another wood line taken away. And I would even just risk it. Just send the war wagons in. See what Vinchester has. You could always just run back. I'm actually going to go for the town center now. And oh my god, wasn't expecting this at all. Talking about fog of war. Castle coming up right here. There shouldn't be enough defense to stop this. What a play by Vinchester, though. Would have maybe liked to see a castle go here, but I guess it's too late. Both players going to inflict massive damage on each other. It's a crazy castle drop by Vinchester, though. And will do quite a bit of damage. Especially if they could bust through these walls. If they could bust through these walls. This villager's going to go back for now, though. There we go. War wagon's going to come right in. That is a lot of skirmishers lost. Military count 27 to 18. Villager count dead even. Chain barding armor coming in. Tim now 1,500 points in the score lead. And Tim just trying to keep this area of the map safe for him. One thing I think Vinchester should do, I think he should go into Tarkans. Tarkans would be the best option against war wagons with their high pierce armor. Great, again, more towers from Tim. I don't think Vinchester has enough army here. I feel like Vinchester should have dropped another castle here just to stop the tower creep. Definitely not enough knights. Monks are pretty good against war wagons too, though. War wagons are very expensive. You have to get one conversion. And yeah, not nearly enough. And Vinchester's going to call it GG right there. Great game by Tim. Great tower rush by him, taking away a lot of the resources. Vinchester not being able to stop the tower creep. Trying to go with this offensive play here, but I feel like just a little bit earlier, a defensive castle right here would have done him much more favors. And going into the late game, with the Huns army and maybe a good boom going, Vinchester could have had a shot at the game. But Tim's going to win that one. Great tower rush from him. And I hope you enjoyed this game on point of view. If you'd like to see more games on just one player's point of view, then let me know in the comment section and like, comment, and subscribe. So I'll see you next time.